There is a beautiful illusion many people carry in their younger years. They think strength belongs to youth, that energy belongs to the 20s, and that life slowly winds down after 60. But have you noticed something interesting? Some people at 60 are tired, dependent, and constantly talking about illness, while others at 60 plus are traveling, laughing loudly, learning new things, and living with a spark in their eyes that even 30-year-olds sometimes lack. So, what's the difference? Is it luck, genetics, money? Not always. Many times, it is simply habits, the small daily choices that quietly shape how we age. Let's explore a few of these habits, not as rules, but as gentle reminders for a better, lighter, and more meaningful life. There is a quiet negotiation that begins after 60. The body starts making offers like, let's sit today instead of walking, let's skip this stretch, let's rest more, we deserve it. And honestly, it sounds reasonable. After years of hard work, responsibility, raising children, building a life rest feels like reward. But here is where many unknowingly make a mistake. They confuse comfort with carelessness. Let me tell you about a man named Mr. Raman. He was a retired school principal. At 63, he decided he had done enough movement in life. He stopped his morning walks. Slowly, his world became smaller: his chair, his television, his bed. At first, it felt peaceful. But within 2 years, something changed. Stiffness became normal. Energy became rare. Even walking to the gate felt like climbing a hill. Across the street lived another man of the same age, Mr. Iqbal. Same city, same weather, same age. But every morning, like clockwork, he walked 30 minutes. Some days fast, some days slow. Some days talking to neighbors, some days quietly observing birds. The difference wasn't fitness, it was relationship with movement. One saw movement as punishment, the other saw it as celebration. Movement after 60 is not about burning calories. It is about telling your body, we are still partners in life. Even small actions matter: stretching while boiling tea, walking while talking on the phone, gardening, or even simple house chores done with awareness. Because the truth is simple: a body in motion negotiates better with age. Memory is a beautiful place, but dangerous when you start living only there. After 60, many people unconsciously shift their life from living forward to rewinding backward. They begin saying, in my time, back then things were better, I used to be like this. And slowly, life becomes a museum of memories instead of a river of experiences. But there was a woman named Mrs. Sharma who changed this pattern. At 68, she enrolled in a basic computer class. Her grandchildren laughed. Nani, why are you doing this at your age? She smiled and said, because my mind is still young enough to be curious. She struggled at first. She forgot steps. She asked the same question again and again. But something inside her was alive: the joy of learning. Within 6 months, she was video calling relatives herself, sending messages, even watching tutorials on cooking new dishes. Her mind stopped feeling like an old storage room and started feeling like a workshop again. Curiosity does something magical: it shifts identity. You are no longer someone who has lived life. You become someone who is still exploring life. Read something unfamiliar. Learn a new word daily. Ask younger people how they think. Don't rush to correct, pause to understand. Because the moment curiosity dies, age stops being wisdom and starts becoming repetition. Control feels like love in disguise. Parents often say, I am just concerned, I only want what's best. But sometimes, beneath concern lies fear: the fear of losing relevance, the fear of being left behind, the fear of not being needed. Let me share a story. A father constantly interfered in his son's career decisions even after retirement. Every choice was questioned, every step corrected. The son slowly stopped sharing anything. Conversations reduced to silence. One day, after a small argument, the son said, Dad, I don't need instructions anymore. I need support. That sentence broke something and also healed something. The father realized he was still trying to parent an adult who needed space, not supervision. He slowly shifted. Instead of advising, he started listening. Instead of correcting, he started trusting. Something unexpected happened: the son began opening up again. Control creates distance. Trust creates return. After 60, life gently shifts roles. You are no longer the director of every scene. sometimes you are the audience. And there is peace in that. Because when you stop controlling everything, you start experiencing something rare relief. There is a strange habit many carry into old age, the need to win arguments. At family dinners, small disagreements turn into debates. Old memories become evidence. Every conversation becomes a courtroom. But ask yourself honestly, at this stage of life, what is more valuable, being right or being at peace? There was an elderly couple who often argued about very small things: what TV channel to watch, how salt was added in food, how relatives behaved years ago. One day, the husband paused during an argument and simply said, "Even if I win this, I lose my peace. So let's stop here." It changed their dynamic. Not because problems disappeared, but because priority changed. Peace is not passive, it is intentional. It means choosing silence over escalation. It means smiling instead of proving. It means walking away from unnecessary emotional battles. Not every opinion deserves correction. Not every mistake needs a response. Not every silence needs to be filled. Because sometimes wisdom is simply knowing, this is not worth my inner disturbance. And that is a powerful shift. Loneliness is not about being alone. It is about sitting in a room full of people and still feeling emotionally invisible. After 60, this becomes more common than people admit. A man once said, "My children live with me, but I still feel like I am living alone." Why? Because presence without connection is just shared space, not shared life. There was an old woman who made a simple habit. Every evening she would call one person, not to ask for help, not to give advice, just to genuinely ask, "How was your day?" At first it felt small, but slowly her relationships deepened. People started looking forward to her calls. She wasn't just existing in relationships, she was nurturing them. Connection doesn't require grand gestures, it requires attention. Listen without checking your phone. Ask questions without rushing. Share stories without preaching. Because humans don't just need company, they need emotional presence. After 60, your most frequent conversation is not with others, is with yourself. And this conversation shapes everything. If you keep saying, "I am too old, Dad, I can't do this, my best days are gone," then life slowly begins to reflect that belief. But if your inner voice says, "I am still here, I can still learn, I still matter," then something shifts, even physically. There was a man who retired feeling useless. He often said, "My life is over." His energy declined rapidly. Later, he joined a small volunteering group helping children read. Slowly, his inner dialogue changed. "Maybe I still have something to give." His posture changed. His energy returned. Not because age reversed, but because identity shifted. Your inner voice is not just commentary, it is instruction. Speak gently to yourself, because you are always listening. Let me leave you with a small story. An old man once planted a mango tree in his garden. Someone laughed and said, "Why plant it now? It will take years to bear fruit. You may not even be here to enjoy it." The old man smiled and said, "I am not planting it for myself alone. I am planting it for life to continue after me." Years passed. The tree grew. His grandchildren sat under its shade and ate its fruit. He didn't just grow old, he grew meaningful. So if you are 60 plus or even approaching it, remember this: age is not the closing of life. It is the editing phase where you remove what drains you and keep what truly matters. Stay moving, stay curious, stay kind, stay connected, and above all, stay alive in spirit. Because going strong is not about how many years you have lived, it is about how fully you are still living them.